Hi, everybody, and welcome aboard to Local Matters, where living local never felt so good. I'm Donnie Rimsey. Lots of new changes for Anniston City government. When we come back, we'll meet another new face. She's Anniston's new project manager of economic development of external affairs and director of Main Street. Join us when we come back with more Local Matters.
Dance. Let me see you move.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dottie Rimsey, and welcome aboard to Local Matters. You know, Anniston is adorned with new faces in its city government and school board as well. Joining me to discuss reorganization of Anniston's Main Street program is another new face. She's Anniston's new project manager of economic development and director of Main Street. She's Miss Meredith Strain. So welcome aboard, Miss Meredith. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on today.
Good to have you. So two positions, actually. So you're the project manager of economic development, external affairs, and you're also the director of Main Street.
Correct.
Okay, so this is a new job and a new role for you. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Meredith. Are you also new to the city?
I am not new to the city. Before this, I was with the government contracting out at FEMA at CDP for 13 years.
Okay.
And then I briefly worked with nonprofit and job placement for those that have been let go for the depot and trying to get them back into the workforce.
Right, back into the workforce. Okay.
And then came upon this job and was blessed to be a part of the city. So now I am here as of May this summer. So.
Okay, so as of May this summer, so so almost what, May, June, July, August, September, October?
Almost 6 months.
Almost 6 months. Okay, so let's talk about, because you are serving in two capacities. So let's talk about the first capacity. Let's talk about the economic development role that you're serving as its project manager. What does that mean?
Sure. So economic development is fairly new to the city of Anniston, period. Previously, our director was Eric Basinger, and he was there for almost 3 years, and then he moved on to his dream job. But he kind of paved the way with and Mayor Stewart. They worked really hard together to kind of get some new industry, new retail to the area. As you will go down like towards Linlock area, you'll see like Harbor Freight, and now coming on is Ollie's and Ashley Furniture with a new Kmart development. So big developments, and then some industrial and so stuff like that. So economic development is key for any city or community, bringing in new prospects, developments that will, you know, sales tax, revenue, and then jobs, of course. That's a big part of it. So as project manager, I am a support role for Kent Davis, our current economic development director.
Right, and I was going to ask you, so Kent Davis is also new, and we're going to meet Kent Davis a little bit later on too, not today, of course, but I will I've already talked to Kent about it, about coming on aboard Local Matters to talk about his new role as well. So you work, is it in support with Kent Davis?
Right, in conjunction and in support of him. So if we have new prospects that come to town and want to see some of our available spaces or infrastructure, spec buildings, anything within the city of Anniston and its police jurisdiction, Kent covers that. And then my main purview as the Main Street director in an economic development is the Main Street area, and that is Noble Street, 8th through 14th. And then kind of its outer extremities, you know, 11th, 12th, and then Gurney and Wilmer. And so that's basically historic district. And so Main Street is just that's my main.
Yeah, but this is your second role, because so now first you were talking about your position as the economic development person as a project manager, and now you're the director also of Main Street.
Correct.
Okay, so here's the thing. For someone who's just listening in and if they may not have ever heard of Main Street, what does that mean for the city of Anniston to now be designated as a Main Street community? What does that mean?
Well, actually, our Main Street has been a designated Main Street community through the state of Alabama. It's a nonprofit organization called Main Street Alabama. Their hub is in Birmingham. Their president is Mary Helmer. And so years ago, Spirit of Anniston, it's a nonprofit as well, it's one of our partners, had tackled Main Street, a small portion of them, to become a designated community. And basically it gives us resources that otherwise wouldn't be there, whether it's trainings, whether it's learning how to do incentives for facades, whether it's just, you know, sprucing up vacant buildings to make them look more appeasing to the eye. It's just education, awareness, and training, and to be part of a broader group. And so there are several communities in the state of Alabama that are part of this, and it's nationally designated.
Now, through the Main Street of Anniston, or through Main Street, Alabama, are there opportunities for Anniston to take part in learning how to write grants and also how to obtain other resources that for the economic development of the city of Anniston, or for the city of Anniston?
Well, there's several partners. We have several community partners, whether it's the Community Foundation, or whether it's Spirit of Anniston, or whether it's our arts and the Council of Arts and Humanities. There's a lot of folks out there that do write grants to get new, vibrant, you know, economic vitality brought to the Main Street area. And so similar, good example. The new art wall placards that are on the parking deck near the Compass Tower.
Yes.
That was driven by the Arts Council, driven by grants, driven with the schools, and so they came up with this great idea to put art in blighted areas. So there are several entities that are working to make our Main Street just a place to come down and be. When
we come back, I'm hearing my director in my ear saying that we're running out of time and we've got to go to break. When we come back, I want to talk more about, you know, there's one of my favorite statements is that, you know, people do occupy different realities, and there are many people in the city of Anniston who feel as though their voices are not being heard. When we come back, we're going to we're going to hear from Ben Little, and we are going to talk about why he feels that he was even voted back into his old position. So we'll be right back with more Local Matters. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Local Matters, where living local never felt so good. I'm Dottie Ramsey, and I'm joined with Miss Meredith Strange. She's a new face to the city, but she's not new. We have been talking all morning long about her position. In fact, she has two positions. She is the project manager for economic development for the city of Anniston, and she also holds the position as director of Main Street. So welcome aboard again to Local Matters, Ms. Meredith Strain. We've been talking most of the morning about your role, your new role, and we've also been talking about the importance of what does it mean for Anniston to be designated as a Main Street community. Of course, it's all about economic development and bringing new infrastructure, new businesses to the city, of course. But you know, Meredith, there are many people have been saying that all of that sounds really great and wonderful, but yet in my side of the town, you know, people do occupy different realities, you know, and people have been saying, well, in my world, nothing new is happening. In fact, we've got new faces, as I mentioned earlier, all over the city's government. We've got familiar faces back as well. Ben Little is back, and in fact, Ben Little says that's one of the reasons why he was voted back in. Let's listen to Ben. I want to take a listen to what he had to say.
Contacting me, the young, or old, and middle age were contacting me, and with NAACP president, dealing with several different issues in this community, and I think that's what the people know, that Ben Little is going to be working on their behalf.
Okay, Ms. Meredith, so Ben says that's why he believes that's one of the reasons why he was voted back in, because people feel as though their voices are not being heard. How do you propose to work around these issues that people have in the city of Anniston as the new person in play right now?
So since Kent and I came into these roles, our main objective is to bring collaboration, is to create camaraderie, is to community. We want to be partners with as many groups and individuals and what makes sense for our town moving forward. So progression is key and communication is key, and we truly believe in that. We know that our door is open anytime anyone has an issue about anything as far as economic development goes. If they have any concerns about something that is going on, to come and talk to us so that we can explain it. You know, knowledge is power, and we want to educate as much as we can on things that we have going on within our department. And so for individuals that feel as though things aren't going on in their areas, please just bring it to, you know, city council meetings, to work sessions. We have a great opportunity coming up with the Main Street community.
Well, I was going to say, we've got something new coming up soon.
Right, November 8th, 9th, and 10th. Our Main Street, Alabama, there's a group coming down. It's a resource team, and they're going to come and give us some really good tools to move Main Street forward and to really, you know, jump into what their resources are. And so they'll be there and they'll be taking input from the public. They'll be doing walking tours and driving tours and talking with individuals that want to see things change in a way that will benefit them. So that's going to be huge. And so we want to welcome anyone to come.
This is November, what date is this
8th,
again?
9th, and 10th.
8th, 9th, and 10th. This is Main Street, Alabama that's coming.
Yes.
Where would this be?
At the City Meeting Center.
At the City Meeting Center?
In rooms B and C, or a B for the most part.
So they'll be here 3 days, 8th, 9th, and 10th.
It will, and on the last day, on the third day, which is the most exciting day, is because, say, we have a blighted area that has just never, everyone just walks by and goes, you know, I just wish there was a green space there.
Yeah.
Well, so they're going to
And I do it all the time. I'm driving by and I go, why don't we just do something with this, please, already?
And so they're going to come through and they're going to, you know, show us these beautiful images of what it could be and show us ways to implement immediate responses to make those things happen. And so I'm really excited.
Yes, that sounds exciting. I'm getting excited. Just let's go back again. November 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Yes.
Now, what time? What are the times?
Once we get down more on the outline, we'll make sure that it is publicized.
Yes,
it's put in the paper. We'll make sure that you guys know it, so you guys can advertise it. Whatever we can do.
Yes.
Facebook, of course, Main Street Anniston Facebook page.
Right.
Definitely follow. Anytime anything's going on Noble Street, I tend to post as much as we could, just similar to the the Anniston High School, you know, homecoming parade, right?
And that was the first that I've ever known that to happen.
So we got some kids from the high school.
And thank you for calling me. I had a great time by coming out and putting my red and black ribbons up, and that was good.
And we just showed some love and some spirit to those kids, because you know what, they work hard, and we want our kids to know that, especially as they were walking down and the bands, and they sounded all great and marching and getting ready for their homecoming game, that, you know, that our storefront showed love too.
And we want to see more of that.
Absolutely.
More of that inclusiveness.
Right, absolutely, absolutely.
Now tell me this about the Main Street, going back to that again, that's November 8th, 9th, and 10th. They're coming out of, you said, this is the state, they're coming out of Montgomery, Birmingham?
They're coming out of Birmingham, but there's some designers and branding marketing experts that are coming from, you know, other states in the in the country, so that are well renowned and known, and so they're going to just bring some extra incentive and perspective as an outsider looking in.
As an outsider, and it's always good to have good outside eyes looking in to see.
It is, because if you haven't noticed, you know, our town is very complex. I mean, it is, and so just like you were talking about outside perspectives, and so this will allow all of those voices that tend to think that they aren't heard to come and just voice about what they would like to see in their community and what they would like to walk down the street with their child, or their, you know,
and what they would hope to see.
Right, and what they would benefit. And you know, my goal is to make that Noble Street Purview a destination location. Right now we have great restaurants, and people come down for the nightlife. But I am encouraged, and recently just had 2 great successes.
And I want to talk about those when we come back. In fact, we've got to go to break. When we come back, I want to talk about new businesses are coming into Anniston,
Yes,
and I
they
also
are.
want to talk more about the Anniston Commons too. The sign is up; it looks great. So when we come back, we're gonna talk more about economic development here in the city of Anniston. We'll be right back. Hi everybody, welcome back to Local Matters, where living local never felt so good. I'm Dottie Rinsey, and I'm joined with Miss Meredith Strain, and she serves two positions here for the city of Anniston. She is Anniston's, she's the director of Anniston's Main Street, and she's also the program manager of economic development. It all means bringing, of course, new resources for the city of Anniston, and of course, new businesses. So we are excited to talk about that. In fact, two new businesses are now on Noble Street, or will be very soon.
Yes.
Who are they, Meredith?
So we were lucky enough to have a really great service for music lessons and instruction, vocal, performing, and any kind of instrument lessons.
Wow.
Music Box.
Music Box.
They originated in Jacksonville about a year ago.
Weren't they in Jacksonville? Yeah.
They are, and so we had several conversations with them about doing a second location, and it just so happens that a lot of their customers come from long distances, Talladega and Oxford, and that's a long haul all the way to Jacksonville. So they really, you know, Gene and Stephen Ellison, they just said that the Lord pressed on them that they, you know, a second location is going to benefit this community. I mean, it brings diversity to our Main Street.
Yes.
Absolutely, is what we want. And so, but also to be able to tap into the younger generation, but as well as, you know, the older generation, as far as if you're looking for music lessons. So they are located at 1018 Noble Street.
Yeah, that
and
is
we
exciting.
are thrilled to have them. They had their open house last Monday.
I know it. I missed it.
It was really
I
good.
missed it.
It was
Now
really
here's the
good.
thing. What type of music lessons? Piano lessons?
Piano
What?
lessons, guitar, drums, acting, theater, voice lessons, all kind of stuff, and even like pageants if they're in, you know, you have a child in,
Yeah,
involved in that.
and that's huge too. Pageants. I have a really good friend. He is an Annistonian, but he's living in Atlanta now, of course, and he does pageants, and I'm telling you, he has been nothing but a success. Several of his girls have won Miss Alabama, Miss Georgia. So
Absolutely.
this is also going to be a place that they're going to be focusing in on that as well. You
And
mentioned.
they are ready to get involved with Main Street and just to bring something else to our
Bring a
downtown.
whole- bring a whole
Absolutely.
new- yeah, bring a
Absolutely.
whole new flavor. Yeah, absolutely. And so tell us of the other new business.
The other one is basically a relocation. So I had been working with Mike Alexander with Alexander Formal Wear and the great events, and so we were able to announce last Friday, I believe, that they have taken one of our larger spaces down on Noble Street, and that is 1118 Noble. And so it is once was the English Villages.
Yeah.
It's where you walk in. It's
So
kind
they're
of all
gonna-
little cottage-like space.
So they're going to
inside.
have that space.
They are going to take the entire building and have a gift shop on one side, their wedding dresses on the other. They'll have a prom area in the back, and then they just added a jewelry component. Somebody's going to come in and sell their jewelry, and so later on we'll move into, you know, a possibility of them selling or having a bakery or some sort in the back there with that kitchen component. So they are thrilled. Mike Alexander was ecstatic to post it on Facebook and just to let everybody know, and so he's given his praises as well, and so we're
deal.
excited. Hopefully by the time of Niwala, which is an upcoming event.
Yes, and I was getting ready to talk about, not only have you been working with these new merchants, and you're certainly working with other people right now who are also looking, and they are prospects for the city of Anniston, but also you're working to make sure that we keep our events going as well.
Yes,
And our signature event for Main Street, of course, is Nuwala.
Yes, we have a Niwala event. It comes October 29th. It's basically Halloween spelled backwards for those wondering. And so that is from 10 to 4 on that Saturday.
Yeah. Last year was, I'm telling you, it was
Thousands
awesome.
of people. Yes,
Awesome.
we have vendors,
Awesome.
food vendors. This year we're adding a public safety sector. So we'll have the pink fire truck for breast cancer awareness. We'll have Life South doing blood donations and possibly some other public safety vehicles there. But
Speaking of public safety, have we been, and I know we haven't really talked about it as much in our meetings, but you know, there's been this whole clown scare going on. Are we going to be talking anything, are we asking people not to wear clowns? Are we doing anything in response to that?
I'm not sure about our local. I have heard
Yeah.
that the clown costumes are going to be kind of tightened up a little
Yeah,
bit.
so-
So I'm not sure.
Okay.
We have not.
We're not saying that you can't wear.
Not
wear-
specifically.
yeah.
If the police department is, I have not heard it. If they
Yeah,
are,
yeah,
then
I haven't heard anything
yeah.
either. I just thought it might have been something I could throw out there just to
Right.
kind of bring
Yeah,
awareness to
clearly
people who've
everybody-
not heard anything about clowns going around
Right.
terrorizing people. So that's something that we want to keep in mind. I haven't heard anything that they're not permitted. So
Yeah.
so far, I guess so far so good that you can do a clown
Yeah.
outfit if you want to. Let's move on up to the north end of Anniston.
Okay.
The Anniston Commons. I was
Yes.
excited to see that go up. Nice new
Huge
sign.
success. Yes, it's beautiful.
Nice new sign. We got Ashley, and that's a good. That's a Ollie's, of course, huge, but Ashley, it's a great furniture store, and in fact, there's not an Ashley's around anywhere. I think except is it Gaston? The closest one?
Maybe. I know some of our furniture stores carries Ashley products, but for the most part, not an Ashley store. And so there's also a third parcel there that has been secured. We do not know the name yet, so that'll be exciting to hear.
see who's going up
and
there.
then the Dad's Barbecue is going to be shifted to the right side of that parking lot, so there'll be more visibility.
Okay.
And so they're going to have a all new big expansion, and so it's really good for that area. That area is really thriving.
It is,
That
it
kind
is.
of Blue Mountain area. It really
Yep.
is. It's coming along.
Yep, it is coming along.
So-
So you know what I'm hearing of course, my director is, he's always telling me that's Mr. Jordan Smith, and he's telling me that we're running out of time. I'm feeling like now that we're really getting into talking about your roles, I'm just really getting more and more excited, but we are running out of time. But I want to say again, welcome to the city of Anniston in your new roles, Meredith, and it's good to have you, and I've enjoyed working with you so far.
Yes.
And just keep your eyes out. As Meredith says, if you have concerns, don't hesitate to give her a call there at Anniston Main Street.
And the council
And
meetings.
also, come and take part of the city council meetings as well. We'll see you right back here for more Local Matters.
Let me see you